Hello and welcome everybody, and in this video we are going to talk about some of the important points regarding Trump and his administration. Now what Trump says, Trump begs Supreme Court to let him go to war with Chicago. Now President Donald Trump wants the Supreme Court to decide whether he can deploy the National Guard in Chicago after two lower courts ruled against him. On Friday, the 79-year-old president filed an emergency appeal to the Supreme Court saying that the decision from the Judge April Perry of the U.S. District Court for the Northern Districts of Illinois at the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, which blocked his attempt to send his military into Illinois to quell ICE protests, now improperly impinge on the president's authority and needlessly endanger federal personnel and property. In an attempt to argue that ICE protesters are out of control, the emergency appeal urges the federal agents' efforts are met with prolonged, coordinated, violent resistance that threaten their lives and safety and systematically interfere with their ability to enforce federal law. The Daily Beast has reached out to the White House for comment that the White House was caught trying to pass off footage of violence in red state as footage from the chaos in Chicago last week. In the previous two rulings, judges sternly rebuked the president's characterization of the situation in Chicago. Perry said that she had seen no credible evidence that there is danger of a rebellion in the state of Illinois in her ruling. She added that the Trump administration displayed a troubling trend of equating protest with riots and a lack of appreciation of the wide spectrum that exists between citizens who are observing, questioning and criticizing the government and those who are obstructing, assaulting or are doing violence. The 7th Circuit Court of Appeal panel, which consisted of one Trump appointee, an Obama appointee and an H.W. Bush, wrote on Thursday, political opposition is not rebellion. A protest does not become a rebellion merely because the protester advocate for moderate legal or policy changes and well-organized call for significant changes to the structure of the U.S. government, use civil disobedience as a form of protest or exercise the Second Amendment right to carry firearms as the law currently allows, the panel wrote. The president is attempting to invoke the 1827 Martin versus Mott ruling to justify deploying troops to Chicago. In that instance, the court ruled against a militant who refused to mobilize for the War of 1812 because he did not believe it was necessary. In that instance, the court ruled the authority to believe it was necessary. In that instance, the court ruled the authority to decide whether the exigency has arisen belong exclusively to the president. Trump is arguing that based on that precedent, court have no authority to review the president's decision to mobilize the National Guard. That was all the news that we have shared about the Trump, that he want to let him go to the war with the Chicago protesters.